Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is Osama Sayyid from IslamAfterAhmadiyya.com. This recording today is it's kind of humorous. It's quite funny. Basically, when you leave Ahmadiyya, the Ahmadiyya the organization generally they will make up some lies about you as to why you left. So it's like, which box do you fit into? The first one they might say is, you were kicked out. Even though you left, no, they'll say you got kicked out. Or the second one could be you had some sort of administrative issue. Some kind of issue with the administration, or like some people, for example, have disputes, and they take them to the internal court systems called the Qada board. And so obviously some people, for example, they may lose that case or something, and they may leave generally because of the injustice anyway, but other people leave because of the belief, but then they link that you previously had a case and they say that's why you left, So, you actually left because of the beliefs or Mirza's character, whatever you want, or, those possible reasons, but they just label it as, no, you had an administrative issue, could have been a year ago, could have been 2 years ago, 10 years ago, and they say that's why he left ultimately, which is very unfair, of course. You've also got things like, you had a problem with the Nizam, the system. I just love the way they call things the Nizam. They've made their own little world, man, and they think this is within Islam. This is not normal and it's not acceptable, man. Nizam, like, you didn't pay the chanda, this thing which is un-Islamic anyway. They say you didn't pay it. So that's why we kicked him out, or kicked her out. Didn't like paying chanda. No, I pay my zakat and I give a lot of sadaqah. No, you didn't pay chanda, so get out. It's hilarious. Any Muslims out there are probably laughing at this, thinking, what the hell, why are these people subjecting themselves to such, punishment and feel like they're in a prison? Well, unfortunately, you don't know what Ahmadiyya is about. And it will serve you well to know, so that you can be aware of it and so you don't fall into the trap. And obviously, if you see your friends ever falling into the trap of Ahmadiyya, you can save them. Let's see. You've got other things like, there's a classic one nowadays, dry leaf. You're a dry leaf or a dry branch. That means basically they're trying to say that you're a weak believer, and you didn't really know much about Ahmadiyya belief. That kind of thing, just to try to belittle you. All this stuff is just to discredit you. So that obviously in front of Ahmadis, they don't like Ahmadis thinking that people left genuinely because, number one, the belief is false. Mirza Ghulam wasn't from Allah, based on all the things that, if you see my other videos, you'll see, or you check our website out. And other websites as well also give a lot of facts. Some of them don't give accurate things, but a lot of other websites, they give a lot of facts as well. So you left because of that, but they say no, you left because you're a dry leaf. You're a weak believer. Or, so that's if you leave, they call you a dry leaf. Obviously, they don't kick you out for being a dry leaf. You have to be a weak believer. And they say, that's why you left. He's a dry leaf. What do you expect, He left the path of Hidayah. I find that quite funny. Another one they could possibly say is that used to talk against the Jamaat. Used to talk against their community, and you weren't sincere and you just looked for negatives all the time. So basically, if someone wanted to just verify things that they see within Ahmadiyya, they say, like, why do I have to pay chanda for? Why do I have to, what's this Beheshti Maqbara thing, this heavenly graveyard of yours, which you have to give 10% of all your money for the rest of your life, and then you get buried in this heavenly graveyard. If someone asks questions, or if they ask, how come Mirza Ghulam said that his family is exempt from paying that 10%? In his book, the Al-Wasiyya, the will, he said that my family is exempt They have an exemption. They don't have to pay the 10%, but they will still get buried in Bahishti Maqbara. But all the Ahmadi followers, no matter how sincere they are, they have to give that 10% money for their whole life. They have to have done wasiyah their whole life. Then they get buried there. So if you ask that question, you're just trying to ask a simple question. How come? What are these things? Oh, you're always looking for negatives. Oh, you've got rebellion in your heart, you know. You've got some serious, as if you're questioning the Quran or something. You know, even the Quran, you can ask questions. You can say, I don't understand this surah. Why was this surah revealed for? When did this surah get revealed for? Why was this decision taken, for example, at the time of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You can ask these questions. But oh no, within Ahmadiyya, they don't like you to ask those certain questions, because then they start thinking, oh, this person got rebellion in their heart, they want to leave. They're gonna basically embarrass us if you're talking to Muballigh or whatever, any of these people who have got some kind of position in their organization. They always try to basically put you under their microscope. As soon as you start asking questions, they start having doubts about you. It's quite hideous. A lot of people who in Ahmadiyya, you might have experienced this, and it's people who left Ahmadiyya. A lot of you would have, or possibly, most likely would have experienced this. You feel like you're in a prison. You can't open your mouth. You can't ask a question. Islam is freedom. Ahmadiyya, and speaking from my own personal experience, Ahmadiyya is a prison. Islam is freedom. Ahmadiyya is not freedom. Ahmadiyya takes you back into the ropes. It takes you into handcuffs. It puts you in handcuffs. Islam gives you freedom. You've got other reasons. Let me touch on those now. You've got, for example, you left for marriage. Like, for example, they accuse, for example, sometimes, it could happen as well, actually. Some females, some sisters who are in Ahmadiyya, they did the most unbelievably bad sin. They married a Muslim person. The Ahmadi female married a Muslim man. She did the worst sin available there. Worst thing she could do is do that. They get kicked out for that. People around the world, anyone who listens to this recording now or 10 years from now, you are probably sitting there thinking, how come Ahmadiyya would kick someone out, a female out, for marrying a Muslim? So basically someone who's not Ahmadi, but Muslim, just Muslim, someone who follows the Quran, someone who follows the Sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, someone who believes in the 5 pillars of Islam, Zakat, Sawm, Ramadan, Hajj, all these things, Salah, of course, all these things, you get kicked out for marrying someone who is just Muslim. So obviously they try to, besmirch their character, make them look like really, really bad people and very weak believer and all this kind of thing. They married a Muslim, for God's sake. They married a Muslim. Our religion is about unity. It's not about dividing like this. In Ahmadiyya, obviously Mirza Ghulam and his organization, from the start, he created it. He doesn't want his followers to pray together with other Muslims. He doesn't want a female to marry a man, so a woman, Ahmadi, not to marry a man who's a Muslim. Because then their children will come out as Muslims, not Ahmadi. They don't allow, you're not allowed to pray the janazah of another Muslim as well. So it's just complete. Mirza Ghulam and this despicable organization actually is split their followers away from the normal, proper Muslims. The Muslims who are following Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and no other prophet after him. And especially not someone like Mirza Ghulam of his character. Especially not of someone like that. I mean, it's a big thing anyway to ever take a prophet after Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we're not talking technicalities, those of you who believe Jesus is still alive or, and he's coming back, he's already a prophet from before. He's not a new prophet who's going to come. But it's already a huge thing to ever take a prophet above Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a huge thing. And to do that is a one step. The second step, to put someone like Mirza Ghulam, of his character. If you see my other videos, check his character out. Check his character, things that I've shown from him, and I've got his writings right there, and this is what he said. No one's making up. It's not allegations. He wrote this stuff down. You're probably asking, why the hell would he write that stuff down? I don't know. Ask yourself that. Ask yourself why a man would write that kind of thing. I don't know. He wrote it. The bottom line is, he wrote it. Do you want to carry on following him? I chose not to. Other people I know chose not to. It's your choice if you want to follow him or not, after you've known that he's written this stuff, and they're not allegations. So of course, as I say, it's a huge thing, really huge thing to ever take a prophet on top of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Of course, I've digressed a little bit. I'll come back to my main points again now. So which box do you fit into? Of course, for example, it's not just someone who gets married, it's also people who are married. And then let's say the man leaves Ahmadiyya. If the woman reads and finds out that Ahmadiyya is false and leaves it too, they will not give her any credit for leaving Ahmadiyya because of the false beliefs and the horrid character of Mirza Ghulam of Qadian. They will not give her any credit. They will not give her any credit. They will try to make her out as if she's not religious, as if she's blind, and she just followed the husband. That's how they're going to try and make her look. I've seen it with various families. They just label the woman as if she's a Dumbo. They try to make the woman as if she's an utter Dumbo, doesn't know anything, and she just followed, like a blind sheep, just followed her husband. Even though the wife would have read and checked and everything, just like the husband checked. And some wives, some people I know, they actually checked even more than what the husbands did. But they won't give you any credit. They won't give the lady any credit. The female, the girl, they won't give her any credit. They'll try to belittle her, find any sort of negative to assassinate her character. Anything. It could be something you did 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you could have done something and people knew about it or something. And then they start saying, oh, remember, she did this 10 years ago. That makes it alright then. That negates everything she's found about Ahmadiyya. No, it doesn't. Everything she found about Ahmadiyya is because Mirza Ghulam wrote it and it's still there. It's irrelevant if she did anything bad. It's irrelevant if the guy did anything bad. It's irrelevant. Sayyidina Umar, who we know, look at the standing of this man. He was a Khalifa. He was a strong man. He was a strong leader of Muslims. He buried his daughter alive before he became Muslim. He did, what kind of a sin is that? That's it's arguably one of the worst, most horrid sins ever. Defenseless little child, because she's a female, he buried her alive. This was Asr Jahiliyyah, during the ignorance before Islam. Did people start coming to Sayyidina Umar and start saying, oh, be quiet, don't tell us what to do as Muslims, because look at you buried your daughter like 10, 20, 30 years ago. So be quiet. They don't do that, and you can never do that. But unfortunately, a lot of people can relate to what I'm saying, that they'll try to besmirch your character, they'll try to just throw your character into mud, just from a small thing. Oh, I saw him shout once, this guy. Or I saw that guy swear once. Oh, therefore he's a bad guy. Forget everything he's telling you about Mirza Ghulam's writings. Even Mirza Ghulam himself swears. You just think the words like haram zada in his words. Anyone who knows Urdu knows what that means. But we're talking just a simple thing. You saw, you're a normal person, you've made a mistake or something. Now they'll try to use that against you and make you look like basically you lose all credibility. So therefore, nobody listen to him. Guys, don't listen to this guy. Don't listen to him. He left Ahmadiyya, don't listen to him. He's done something wrong 10 years ago, don't listen to him. He stole something 5 years ago, don't listen to him. I saw him swear once, don't listen to him, for example. Of course, does this answer what Mirza Ghulam's written? Does this negate what Mirza Ghulam has written? Did I produce what Mirza Ghulam wrote? Am I the one who manufactured this? He's the one who wrote it, and they put it on their website, www.alislam.org. They put it there, this is what Mirza wrote. So what the heck has my character got to do with what he wrote? I hope everyone, it's quite clear what I'm getting at here, and I think a lot of people who are left Ahmadiyya, they know exactly what I'm talking about. And even some people in Ahmadiyya, if you have a sincere belief within you, and you really believe that you're a Muslim and everything, well then research Ahmadiyya and get the heck out of that thing. If you really want to be a proper Muslim, and you really are thinking that you are following true Islam in Ahmadiyya, you're making a big mistake. Check these writings out. Check our website, islamafterahmadiyya.com. Check other videos that I've made. Read these things for yourself. Read it and go and verify on Al-Islam. Go verify it. Go and find the references and find that he actually wrote this stuff. You'll probably be confused thinking, why the hell would they print it? Why would he write that? And why would they put it on the website, Al-Islam? Why would they put it on the Ahmadiyya website? You're probably really confused. I can't answer that for you. Maybe it's like a confidence trick, like a bluff thing. Oh, all our books are online, so no one will bother ever checking it. So it gives people confidence thinking they're not hiding anything. They put it all online. This could be what it is, but I'm not here to try to justify why the Ahmadiyya organization has put all these books on a website. They have, and it's there. So you can make a decision based on that. I get on to my next point here. You've got influenced or brainwashed by, they love this one, you got brainwashed by a Mulvi. I mean, even if you're an Arab person, there's no such thing as Mulvi in Arab countries. We don't have Mulvi and all this. They'll accuse you. I heard people say that to me. A Mulvi brainwashed you. Subhanallah, a Mulvi brainwashed you. But dear brother, this is Mirza's writings. No. A Mulvi brainwashed you and we don't want to see what you've written. Sorry, we don't want to see what you've printed out of Mirza's books, what's written on that page. We don't want to see it. A Mulvi brainwashed you, and that's what we want to think. We are going to have this thought about you. Why do they do this? I don't know. Maybe to protect themselves. So to protect themselves from not having to face the difficulty of realizing Ahmadiyya is false, they would prefer to accuse you of following some kind of Mulvi. You tell them, come and read. I mean, I've had people do it with me. You try to show them, they slap shut the book. Like I've got all the printouts. I don't actually have the books. I printed them off alislam.org, which you can do as well. I've got these printed from his books. These are printouts, obviously, from his books, with the references above and everything. I've tried to show it to people. They say, no, it's not written there, but I don't want to see that as well. So you're trying to open it and show them. They no. It doesn't say that there, and plus, I don't want you to show it to me. So you would rather stay in blindness. And these Ahmadis, obviously, some Ahmadis that I was speaking with, they would slap it shut. They don't even want to read it. Don't even dare show it to me. And they can't even wait. When you show them these things, they just want to get up and leave. Unless you talk to them about the death of Prophet Jesus or Khatim Nabiyyin, the seal of prophethood. You talk about subjects which they love talking about because they think they've got some sort of loophole thing figured out there. They love going into those subjects. And what do you think of Jesus' death? My friend, Jesus' death doesn't affect my Islam at all. I don't think of Sayyidina Isa even once in my salah unless I'm reading a surah which involves Sayyidina Isa or Sayyidina Maryam or something. Then it will come to my mind. Or Bani Israel or any of these things. Then I would think of Sayyidina Isa. I don't think about Sayyidina Isa in my salah, in my psalm, giving my zakat, all my pillars of Islam, doing hajj. I don't really need to. I can think of Sayyidina Isa's past, as in what he's done, but I don't need to think of whether Sayyidina Isa is going to come or not. That doesn't affect me in my daily life as a Muslim, in my ibadah. It doesn't affect me whether he's going to come or not. So I don't really need to sit there talking to you about this when I've got all this evidence from Mirza's writings about Mirza's character, about his many failed prophecies, about his preposterous, things he's wished on people, like wishing this Abdullah Atem, this Christian man, he's wishing death on him and all this sort of thing, which I will be making videos and giving the evidence for on those videos, by the way. I'll be showing screenshots of all this kind of thing in the future, inshallah. So many Ahmadis, they run away from this kind of thing. And it's the stuff that I put on there. How do they respond to it? They try to insult you. Because there is no answer. There's no answer. They can give a response. A response is not an answer. So they can give a response, or they can try to say to you, "Oh, you're an evil person. Why are you just trying to be horrible to us?" I'm not trying to be horrible to you. I'm trying to show you what Mirza wrote himself. What were his beliefs? What was his mind frame like? Many sincere Ahmadis there, like sincere Ahmadis, right? Because I saw many Ahmadis, they have no idea. about Mirza's writings. They have no idea about his un-Islamic beliefs. They just see the modern Ahmadiyya propaganda on MTA. They see on MTA, they see it in their publications, they see this Mirza Masroor coming on all these sermons and stuff, and he appears not to be saying anything bad. So they're really confused. They're thinking we're following proper Islam here. But my dear brothers and sisters, you are being deceived, okay? The origins of Ahmadiyya are very different. Now you can't just come and change Ahmadiyya today, but still say I'm following Mirza Ghulam, but I'm not following his original writings? Well then why the heck are you following this guy for? You can't say I follow him as his name or his character, but I'm not following what he wrote. This is called Ahmadiyya. He made this community, and you're calling yourself an Ahmadi. So I've seen many sincere people, they actually come across as decent Muslims, honestly. Many people who don't know nothing about Ahmadis, but they know about Ahmadiyya, they're probably thinking, nah, come on. No, it's true. They're sincere because they've got a good heart. They have a good heart, and they actually think they're doing the right thing by staying in Ahmadiyya, by being obedient to this Mirza Masroor of theirs, their leader. You know, and they think they're being, this is not, but they think that's the real Islam. That's not the real Islam. And inshallah, may Allah guide them to just check Mirza Ghulam's writings. And I almost certain those people who are sincere truth seekers, they will never continue being Ahmadi. They will leave Ahmadiyya. Sincere truth seeking people who believe they are good Muslims, but they are Ahmadis, once they check Mirza Ghulam's writings, check our website out, they would not be able to sleep at night saying, yes, I'm certain that Mirza Ghulam is the Mahdi. I am certain that Mirza Ghulam is, astaghfirullah, the second coming of Sayyidina Muhammad. Astaghfirullah al-Azim. They would never be able to, and they would leave it. And inshallah, we all wish that. Just like I left it after, being completely, duped into it and giving so much false information and being misled, and so much information not given to me, withheld from me. Even though I asked so many questions when I joined this thing, because I really thought it was just I didn't realize how deep Ahmadiyya was, how different it was from normal Islam. I thought it was normal. I thought it was the true Islam. Bit of naivety on my part. Yes, I accept that, but alhamdulillah, I'm out of it, and this is why I am putting so much energy and time into alerting people about what Ahmadiyya is. What it's like. The kind of, this video obviously is talking about, how they're going to label you when you leave it. All these things, why? Why am I doing this video? This video is to go out to all those, whoever, even the Ahmadi normal people or Ahmadi missionaries or position holders, whatever, all those people who sit there trying to think of a reason to put down somebody who left Ahmadiyya. I'm saying this to you. Most people, they figured you out already. They know what you do. They know that you sit there figuring out, you're making any sort of negative comment about anyone who leaves Ahmadiyya, just so that the followers, the people who are still in Ahmadiyya, don't contact that person anymore. Don't ask him why he left. Oh yeah, he left because he doesn't pay janda, or he left because of a marriage thing or something. You are trying to stop people from communicating with the people who left Ahmadiyya, and so that you are actually propagating falsehood. Say the truth. Say we don't even know why they left. They left. Let Ahmadis come and talk to people who have left Ahmadiyya. Let them ask them why. But of course, your community, the Ahmadiyya community, it stops. They give orders to people to not talk to anybody after they leave Ahmadiyya, even though he was your friend for 10 years, 20 years. Even if you're born in Ahmadiyya and you left it, they still would demand people not to talk to you. It's like an expected thing. And if they talk to you, it'd be like an undercover thing, not in public. That's why I give credit to people there were one or two Ahmadis who don't listen to that nonsense. And if somebody they like, who is a friend or a family member, left Ahmadiyya, they still talk to them. And I commend those people. They're doing the right thing, because these people are still Muslim. And they've actually left the falsehood of Mirza Ghulam, which Ahmadi administrators they either don't know, or they're deliberately carrying on in it because maybe they've got some worldly gain. They've got some worldly reason why they won't leave Ahmadiyya if they have stumbled upon the writings of Mirza and they've chosen to carry on in Ahmadiyya. Well, clearly there's a worldly, a dunya reason why they are remaining in it. And that's for them to decide and deal with in their life. But the main thing is, I feel sorry for the people who leave, who get accused of things, untrue things, have the characters put down. People try to attack them, not attack them physically, but attack them, their character. You could have had a good reputation for so many years, just like a flick of a finger, flick of a switch, suddenly people think you're a bad person. You've got, I feel obliged to mention this one. I won't mention the person's name, but he's a very, very respected ex-Ahmadi person who was born in Ahmadiyya, very well known, very knowledgeable, has all of Mirza Ghulam's books as well, by the way. Very sincere person, and he refused to carry on in the falsehood of Mirza Ghulam and his community. Once he left Mirza Ghulam's false beliefs, a false rumor, disgusting lie spread amongst all of the Ahmadis in his location, and they said that Saudi Arabia paid him to leave Ahmadiyya and write against Ahmadiyya. Now, that is, I would say, that's the most preposterous one. That's the worst one I've heard. It's the worst one that basically they're trying to say that he sold out. So he was a genuine Ahmadi, but he got paid by Saudi Arabia to leave the genuine belief of Ahmadiyya and write against it. So they're basically also saying that this man is faithless, he's a weak believer, he worships money. All this is implied. When you say that someone got bribed or paid off, you're basically saying they have no principles. And of course, this is a religious issue, so they don't care about their deen either. You're really insulting this person so much, and this person gave so much to Ahmadiyya while he thought it was true. He gave so much to Ahmadiyya. He spoke Urdu, Arabic, English, everything, and other languages as well. He did so much for them. And this is how they labeled him. That's the most shameful, excuse I've ever heard. I've heard as we said, we've heard all these, you kicked out, you had administrative issues, you did it. You got kicked out because, a female married a normal Muslim or something. You've heard all these things which are very horrible and hurtful to the people. But this one's definitely the worst. Supposedly being paid by Saudi Arabia to write, to leave Ahmadiyya and write against it. It's really preposterous. So anyway, obviously, the many Ahmadis ex-Ahmadis, people have left. You get told, or people you hear things like, your life will now be cursed. It'll be full of problems because you left the true Islam that is Ahmadiyya. You hear all this kind of junk. And the funny thing is that I myself and other people that I've spoken to who left Ahmadiyya, I felt as if I had just been released from prison. That's how I felt when I left Ahmadiyya. I felt great. I felt, thank God, because I knew at least the last year while I was in it, for the last year that I was in it, I knew there was so much wrong with Ahmadiyya, but I couldn't pinpoint it. Because almost all the stuff that I did eventually find is in Urdu. And I don't read Urdu, I don't speak Urdu, I'm not Asian. So I had to get in a high standard speaking professional Urdu speaking person to read and translate a few things for me that were more than enough. Even just one of them was more than enough to realize what this man was about, Mirza Ghulam. To realize what his character was about. I never got shown. This is one thing when I joined Ahmadiyya. I kept telling them, I want to learn more about this man because I really had respect for him, obviously. I thought he was the Mahdi. I want to learn more about this guy. I want to learn more. Show me more. Everything's in order. Here, read this book, Invitation to Ahmadiyya. It's an elementary book. It's an elementary book. It's not good enough. This is the modern approach, the modern propaganda of Ahmadiyya. It's summed up in that book, Invitation to Ahmadiyya. You read that book and you're going to think, oh my God, this is like amazing and all this. And it's all on the surface. They don't actually talk deeply about Mirza Ghulam, what he wrote. They say he wrote so many books with it. I keep hearing, I had, 80 something books I think he wrote. You've written all these books. Well, I was actually I had the mind frame of, I want to learn more. I want to read these books. I want to gain some great knowledge. You know? And obviously, if I knew Urdu from the very beginning, I would have left it so quickly after joining it, because I joined it based on withheld information. You know, not the truth. Obviously, I didn't know the true beliefs of Ahmadiyya, of Mirza Ghulam. You know, they never even said that he's a prophet to me. Even on their bay'ah form, it does not say prophet or anything on there. And this is a message to the Ahmadiyya organization. Why don't you write prophet on that bay'ah form? Right? He is a prophet. Don't just write Mahdi or promised Messiah. Promised Messiah has no standing in Islam anyway. He made that up himself. Put prophet. Instead of duping people into your organization, put prophet, and watch how many people would tear that paper up in front of you and walk off. They'll run away from you. They'll tear that paper in front of you and they'll run. They don't want to talk to you again. So stop fooling people. Put the word prophet on there. This is a message to the Ahmadiyya organization. Put the word prophet. Say that Mirza Ghulam claimed to be a prophet. Put that on there and see how many people will sign up to your organization. So anyway, inshallah, I hope I've offered an interesting audio recording here. I hope inshallah that you stay tuned. Me and my colleagues, we're always putting together a lot of evidence. We've got so many videos to come. You know, I'd sincerely advise you to stay tuned, inshallah, and check our channel. You'll see all the videos recorded there. Bismillah. I hope you enjoy them, inshallah. Anyway, this is Osama Sayyid from IslamAfterAhmadiyya.com, saying, may Allah guide us on the straight path, may Allah protect us from all falsehood, and keep us within the beautiful boundaries of Islam and never take us out of it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.